Hello and welcome to another episode of the Mental Motivator. I am your host, Nakia Campbell, and as always, I am so excited to have all of you tuning in from around the world to view stories from ordinary people who have been able to use the power of their mindsets to defeat the odds and take over in their lives and in their industries. Now, today's guest, y'all, I like to say he's from a whole nother planet, right? But he's an amazing hip hop artist, he's a teacher artist, and he's an on-air radio personality from 97.9 The Beat. All the way from California is Mr. Spaceboi Fresh. Y'all check out this video and we'll be right back.
I was living life reckless, so I packed my backpack for Texas. Where the rat attack can't get hectic, but I ain't with all that, check the message. Say we got the right to bear arms, but can't smoke where I'm from. Other words, when shit get bad, I'ma smoke you before blunt. I lost a couple dollars to get it little. Some pussy ass shit thought we was bigger. When there's money involved, the shit get realer. It's like a concrete jungle with these gorillas. All we can ever hope is for them to fill her. I've been peeping through the scope and I see them niggas. I've been praying to my God for him to heal her. Ever since I lost God, this shit get realer. This is more than an IG flex. This is more than an ID sex. This is more than a truth. This is more than a lie. It's more than an IBS. This is more than a naked eye. This is more than a faking guy.
So much I can't reply, so much I can't deny. This is more than a fashion street.
All right, so Spaceboi Fresh. Now, you know I just gave you an introduction, but you got to give the people the proper Spaceboi introduction. So you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
All right, I shall. Crash landed from another planet, Spaceboi Fresh. I am extraterrestrial. Yeah. Hip hop artist, as she said, engineer, videographer, photographer, just creator, teacher. Yeah, straight raining from Oak Cliff, Texas, Ledbetter and Hampton, Stiff Cliff, all the way to the West Coast, man. That's where the California come from. Shout out to Inglewood, South Central. But yeah, what's good?
What's good, man? I'm so happy to have you here today. You know, we had to have this light on the Mental Motivator. So you say you extraterrestrial straight out of Oak Cliff, though. I ain't never seen that. You know, I was born over there at Parkland Hospital down there, down the way. So, you know, I never heard of that. But where did the whole Spaceboi persona and everything come from? Like, how did you, like, everybody grew up, you know, you rapping, either you want to become a doctor, you know, you are a teacher. Like, where did it, you woke up one day and said, I want to be like from outer space? Like, what?
Man, I know you believe in like divine alignment, you know, divine timing with things. Like, I know exactly where it came from, and it was just already written for me, and I'm just walking in the, you know, the story that was already written for me, the path that was already chosen. So way back in elementary, like kids my age would be like, man, you're not from here, are you? Like, I was always considered like
different. Right.
And so I'm like, yeah, I guess not. I'm laughing at it. We all just laughing at it. But in total, Spaceboi Fresh, I knew I wanted to do music at like 13. I was put on to hip hop around that age, 12, 13, and figuring out that I could record. So I had like a tape cassette, radio set, and I put in the cassette, you know, so I could record myself rapping. I played music off my PS1.
Right.
It was music, it was beats already on the PlayStation 1, matter of fact. It was just little like chill vibes. And I would freestyle to them. And then I was called Stupid Fresh. That was my first name, Stupid Fresh.
Yeah. Nah, I like Spaceboi a whole lot better.
Yeah. Because it was all in the same sense. Like, Fresh come from like Fresh Prince. Like, I felt like real connected with the Fresh Prince growing up. Like, I felt like he could be my dad or something.
Right.
So.
Right. I could see a connection between how Will used to act on the show.
Real talk.
You know, full of life, unapologetic, just out there, especially when he was dancing or whatever he was doing. I could see that. I could see that for you.
Up on it heavy. Long story short, me and the guys, I had a clique of homies. It was called the Teenage Billionaires, and we was like, man, let's come up with another name for ourselves.
Yeah.
And so we was like, I don't know who said it, was somewhere like Space Boys. We could be the Space Boys, and our last name would be different. Spaceboi something, Spaceboi Fresh, Spaceboi. And so that lasted like 2 days. And everybody was like, nah, bro.
Like, that's not cool.
Let's keep the Billy, because the billionaire, that's what it was short. So we went from Teenage Billionaire to Billionaire Gang, or Billy Gang for short. And everybody was like, nah, but you need to stay Spaceboi. Like, nah, you are Spaceboi. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, that's me. So,
Right.
Spaceboi Fresh since 16, and here I am.
You've been Spaceboi
33.
Fresh since 16 years old.
Yep.
That's what's up.
I knew this was the path. I also want to be a teacher. That was my, when I grow up, I was like, I want to be a teacher. I didn't know what ways, but now, fast forward, I'm able to teach, life lessons like emotional regulation through music production, how to identify your feelings, you know what I'm saying?
That's what
through
you
the
teach?
sounds. Yeah. To like, what people would call like the cast out, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I go in juvenile detention centers, kids that, got records, they got real life stuff going on.
Right.
Like, this one kid, when I first started, 15 years old, he's showing me like it's show and tell, his bullet wound in his leg. I'm like, bro, 15?
Right.
He's like, man, I get shot at like every month. I'm like, damn, bro.
This here in Dallas.
Yeah. So, I was like, bro,
I
we
was
gotta
so
change this up.
sheltered.
Yeah.
I was so sheltered. My parents moved us away from Dallas, and we actually went to like Arlington and Grand Prairie and all these different places to try to keep try to keep us out of that. Oh, because my brother, he definitely tried to get into the life, but my parents wanted to try their best to keep us out of it. So I ended up graduating from South Grand Prairie High School. What school did you graduate from?
Kimball.
Kimball.
Yeah,
Well, that's still
Kimball
good. That's still good. It's Kimball Knights, right? Kimball Knights, right? Kimball Knights. All right.
what's
Shout
happening?
out to the Kimball Knights. Shout out to the Kimball Knights.
Shout out to my nephew Joshua Lewis. I gotta do this. I don't care when this drop. My boy a senior this year. And
Shout out Joshua Lewis.
Yeah.
What school he graduated from?
Kimball. Is it
Kimball Knights.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Shout out Joshua Lewis right here on the Mental Motivator Show.
Yeah.
Kimball Knights. Kimball Knights. So thank you for that. Well, when did the creativity, I know you started rap music at like 13, but when did like the creativity, because you're like an audio engineer,
Yeah.
a videographer. I saw you record your own video of yourself and put it on
Yeah.
your website, that Free Mind freestyle.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's my
And when
stuff.
you was like, I recorded this myself, I was like, who records their own music videos?
I figured like, all right, this is something I love. I want to learn how to do the ins and outs. I want to know what everything is to come with this. And I learned early that I was naturally really good at it, but I was like, yeah, I need to figure out everything. So I, 'cause shoot, bro, I wasn't rich. My family wasn't,
Right.
and still isn't rich.
Right.
So, figuring that out. So my grandparents, like, they invested in me, like, allowed me to get a studio set up. My homie LB had this program called Cool Edit Pro, which is Adobe now, but I was able to, he taught me how to record, so I used to record all the homies in the neighborhood. They'd come over and get a session,
So that's something that you've been doing.
Since 16. My granny and them let me do a studio in my closet, and it was making me
And then
money.
you became a star at 13 and an audio engineer, videographer at 16.
I would say everything just hit at 16.
Because you was also a
13
model.
just the
You was
thought.
also a model. Now, who you
Yeah.
out here modeling for? What you modeling?
When I moved to LA, I had signed this deal with T.I. He had a Cool and Hustle Gang.
What?
Yeah, Hustle Gang clothing. I did that, and I did a bunch of like runway, like I was a runway model. It was so hilarious. I've been to videos.
No, I
and,
can see you on the runway.
And I modeled for Erykah Badu's Badu World Market.
Wow.
Definitely could catch me on the website right now. Y'all go visit.
I think
Go
I
buy
saw
some
you on.
stuff.
Yeah, I think I saw you on a couple of photos with her. I don't know if it was on Instagram or your website or what, but I do think I ran across a couple of photos
That's
of you and
family.
her.
That's the tribe.
That's the tribe.
Yeah.
That's the tribe.
Real talk.
I can see it with the jewels that you keep in your beard and your hair.
Yeah.
Straight up, Erica. Straight up,
Oh
Erica.
man,
I could definitely.
Eloenia. She's one of Badu's designers, jewelry makers, but she also blessed my game with some pieces.
I feel that. I feel that. So, do you feel that right now, the work that you've been doing with the music for the younger artists, the juveniles, do you feel that you're doing that right now because of things that you saw when you were growing up, and now you just really want to give back to try to save some of these other teenagers' lives through the creativity, the music that you love so much?
I would say so, yeah. You know, growing up, you know, they say, you know, you gotta have these certain dreams and aspirations, these certain ones, like, yeah, you need to be a doctor, you need to be, and so, like, the fact that I was able to, like, see at an early age that I could profit, but also enjoy what I do, because I used to sell my CDs, like, we used to sell CDs, all that, you know, I'm making money, like,
Right.
It was like, what? Like, ain't this live? So, you know, nowadays, definitely I want to show another avenue of success, because it's not the same. It don't look the same. It don't feel the same for everybody, but it is obvious when you reach it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And success for me is being able to do what I love, get paid for it at some point, you know, because everything don't pay monetary value, but get paid for it,
Right.
some type of barter way, and employ my family. Like, that's success for me. Like,
And to also be able to
That's
change somebody else's life along the way, like you're doing, right?
I mean, absolutely. When I say employ my family, like, that's feeding into my people, period. Like,
Right.
employ them with either jobs or just the knowledge to go make you some money, go get you some. So
Right.
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
family goes, it's a broad definition with me. Like, I'm talking, if we see like this, then you family. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so we family.
we family for sure.
I got a new brother, y'all, Spaceboi.
What? It's
I'm
real.
gonna ask you. We gonna ask one more question before we go to our first break, because while we're right here, we're talking about the music and changing people's lives and employing our families and helping people to move forward with the work that you're doing. I just saw that you actually dropped a new song not too long ago, and it's called "Go Vote." And in that song, you know, all of the lyrics are talking to people about, you know, living in real life and not just that life that you see in the media or on social media. So just tell the people a little bit about, like, what the significance or the importance is behind the creation of that song for you, and why you feel like right now is such a more important time than ever to go vote.
I'm gonna quickly just say the root of this song even being created comes from the project that I just dropped called Gabriel. I dropped the project on Even. Go check it out. Even is a platform where the consumer can buy directly from the artist. It's
Right.
a streaming service, but that project defines who I am as a person.
And Gabriel is such a strong name, I just gotta say it. Gabriel.
I'm an angel, alien human. I am
Right.
actually 33% each. Very rightfully so. So that project, I released it finally, and what it is a reflection of who we are, you know. So I'm gonna
Right.
stop right there with that and just say, my boss, my supervisor, my program director, excuse me, at Radio 1, hit me up with a challenge. He was like, you know, this voting thing, yada yada yada. He gave me the spiel. He was like, Space, you the lyricist, put something together. So he
Right.
said, I want this beat and this beat to marry each other, and you need to talk about voting in your way.
Right.
And so I hit up my producer. I'm like, all right, I got you. I hit up my producer, Mnemonics, gave him the lowdown. He did it, and like, he was sick and everything, on food poisoning, all type
Dang.
of stuff. And we pushed it through, got it through. And the song, it definitely, you know, speaks on, as you were saying, well, the first line I jumped out with, you ain't worried about your president, but what about your residents, huh?
Right.
Because a lot
Right.
of people, you know, we look over the local elections, and yeah, I just want to pinpoint that first and foremost, because I think now that I had some conversation with my granddad the other day, and I'm about to tie it up. I know we got to go to the next.
No, you good.
Talking to my granddad, and he was just like, drilling into me the importance of this election, but voting period. He was just like, man, I just remember when my parents couldn't.
Exactly.
And I'm big on like living for the future and the present for sure. And I talked to somebody about it. Like, I think as a whole, the system needs to kind of shift its focus from so much thought of the past, which I'm not knocking any of it, which this show is the basis is, the traumas and things that we have encountered. But I think as a natural optimistic person, like I can't help but I smile at all of that because I see where I'm headed and see and feel where I'm at right now. So with that being said, like hearing my granddad, and he done said it a few times, and like he really mean it, like, bro, like I couldn't vote. Like we couldn't vote.
Right.
And so to think there's a group of people that is in charge of this country that are the grandchildren of those who said y'all can't do something. You can't do. That's what got me in the mindset of, all right, come on. I gotta do my part.
You gotta do your part. You gotta do your part. Right.
That balance, that in between our meeting in the middle road, like, all right, I'm gonna make a song about it first of all.
Yeah.
And try to influence as many people as possible.
And then you're gonna practice what you preach by taking your butt to the polls to go vote.
Because I still haven't. But it's early voting right now. Yeah, I still
You got until what, November the 1st?
November 5th.
November 5th
of the early
to
voting.
early voting.
And yeah,
early voting.
Should have it in by today.
Early voting. Well, y'all, we're gonna go to our first break, but I just want to say, like, your grandfather is completely right, and I just want to take this time to drop 2 cents in on voting and how important it is, because I was literally just watching a video of a lady the other day who said back in 1960 they actually had to pay to vote. Back in 1960, black people had to pay to vote. It was $2, but most of them were only making $2 per week at work. So they had to choose between, am I gonna go and vote, or am I gonna feed my family this week? So on that note, you guys think about that, go out and vote, and we'll be back right after this break.
What up, Billy Gang? When people hear my verse, they be like, I ain't know I needed this. Positive affirmations, cause life been on that demon shit. Slight balance, so I'm thankful that I found it. Cop a ticket for views, swear life been like a challenge. You know what I'm saying? I get a ticket and go check the views out because life been challenging. But y'all just do challenges for views on TikTok. Y'all get it later. I feel like my head about to burst sometimes. Probably why it's hard to write a verse at times. But for this to be my outlet, I'm like, why I ain't put out yet? Guess I'm waiting for confirmation, my city couldn't vouch yet. Thought I would be the greatest rapper that ever lived. Thought I'd be the reason my family made it out the cliff. I thought I'd be a role model influencing the kids. But I thought it's just that if you don't get up out and live, free mind. Want me to go free mind, the only way that I know is composing these ink lines. Show business been kinda slow, but that don't mean that life is. Just trying to make a pace without moving in light years. Fight fears, don't ever be afraid, Legay. Remember, you was the one that moved all the way to LA and showed them that you can do it too. Just get up and move your boots. Chasing a dream on a treadmill won't do shit for you. Pastor told me we living in our last days. The fact is that we been in our last days for 100 decades. So what you gonna do with it? Make time, we losing it. Take time, rejuvenate. Don't find the clickbait because you might mistake and make a mistake that you can't retake. I smoked a blunt of destiny and a shot of fate, but you can't get high without faith. Amen. God's great. Free mind.
All right, y'all, and we are back for our second segment with Spaceboi Fresh, the extraterrestrial.
Your favorite alien out of Oak Cliff.
Your favorite alien, y'all. He said he 33% alien. Hey, and I'm rocking with it all the way. I'm rocking with it. I love it.
It's so wild because it's my 33rd year, and I'm 33% alien, 33 human, 33 angel.
33 angel.
These threes is just beautiful.
I'm sitting in front of an angel. And I honestly feel blessed. Like, I feel so good.
You do?
Right. I do. So I want to ask you about, you said earlier that you have like this even platform, and I've actually seen a lot of artists start to use this even platform. Yeah. And I saw on your website when I was looking, being nosy a little bit last night, trying to get to know a little bit more about you, that you were discussing on your website that you took it upon yourself to start your own private streaming platform to sell your music because you feel that, the bigger people in the industries, I guess the distributors, the ARs, everybody, they're not really paying artists their worth or fairly for their music. Like, can you tell me a little bit more about that, or speak to that situation? Because I'm pretty sure you are not the only person who feels that
Nah,
way.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's the beauty in this life that I'm in right now, this form that I'm in, is just that I get to see things before their time.
Okay.
I come across people that in a matter of time, they're the biggest motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, it's really a blessing to be me, man. I give thanks if the stars aligning, you know what I'm saying? Because that's
Right.
all it is.
Right.
You know, we all got a star in the sky, and once we all connect, we make that constellation, a bigger star, a
Right.
bigger attraction that's like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so I created this platform a few years ago on my website. The website is the platform, essentially. And so they have this thing called Patreon. You can get subscribers to subscribe, and you got different tiers, and they get different things according to the tiers.
Okay.
All right, I'm like, all right, cool. I saw on my website, I use Squarespace. I'm able to create like a password for a page to where you gotta log in a password, punch it in just
Like
to
a
get access.
password protected
Yeah,
site.
exactly.
Okay.
On the page. And so I did that on the music player that I could do on Squarespace. And so I'm like, well, damn, all right. You become a subscriber to my Patreon, and you get the password every month, and you go plug it in, and boo, and that's how you keep up with my music.
Right.
$6 a month get you that. Instead of, you can go pay Apple Music that you get a wide variety of music, yes, but you're talking about a person that person that you know damn well. Like, I'm in there, I've been doing this since I was, like I said, 16. So, rock with me if you rock with me. So I was able to, find that core fan base, and at the top of the year I did it. I made like $1,000 off my project.
Wow.
Then I saw Even. I met Lil Russell. He put me on the Even, and that platform it's a little more calculated when it comes to the splits for your producers, for the features.
Okay.
And that's what I couldn't figure out. I'm over there on my side, like the producers hit me up like, I respect your space for doing your own thing, but how am I gonna get paid off of this?
Right.
I'm like, I don't know yet, bro. Just trust me, I got you. That's all I'm telling them. Like, just trust them, man. I'm gonna figure this out. And I really never did. I just would throw them some bread here and there whenever I get a nice little payout. I'm like, all right, here's some. But man, trust me, I say that after every time.
Trust me,
like,
though.
Trust me, bro. I got you.
Right.
And then Even came along, and like, yeah.
And
for all the artists, like Even is simplified, it's legit. It'll show you the stats as far as, say a person buy your project for $5, because it's also donation based. I let a person, choose what they want to buy it for.
Right.
But also you can set a price tag on there as well. But you give that option so that a person, they may be feeling hella generous. They just just hit it big at the casino.
And Windstar.
Hey, I fuck with your music, bro. Here, boom.
Right.
It's not putting a cap on it. It's not like selling yourself short. So
Right.
they will show price compared to streams. So to get $100 on Spotify or Apple Music, it'll probably be like, I don't know, 30,000, 40,000 streams, something like that. $100.
Right.
And so that right there just shows and gives me all the reasons that I want to continue doing my independent. Because like I said, I used to sell CDs.
Right.
I used to sell my CDs as a teenager and would see money. So I'm like, how can I get that back? And that's the way.
And if somebody pays you $100 on Even for your project, do you get the whole 100? Do they take a percentage of it?
So Even has a 20%. They got a 20%, yeah. Everybody gonna have their hand in the pot until you figure out how to do it yourself.
Right.
So that's where I'm like, I'm just giving it a run. I appreciate how they move. It's super simple, but I'm gonna want that 20 at some point as well.
Right,
But you
as
gotta
well.
pay that to somebody.
You got to give it to somebody
At some point.
because unless you a tech guy and you know how to build the whole platform. So, y'all, he's dropping some
Coding.
gems right here. Like, if you're an independent artist, use Patreon, use Even,
Yep.
and put that money back into your pocket where it should be instead of going out here paying money to all these distributors and all these different people who are really not going to put back into your career like at all.
We all
And so
know
you were,
it.
yeah, go ahead.
We know it. Like, we are adding up fractions of pennies.
Right.
Yeah, you know that's
Which
the
is
math.
sad.
It's
Which
the
is
craziest
sad.
thing.
Right.
Like, so, like, what's up? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's a
Right.
no-brainer. Like, but I think that as artists and consumers, you gotta just take a stand. Got to. Like,
Right.
this is the year of that, the season of that, because it's getting more and more like out there. You know, that people are
Right.
doing this. Like,
Right.
yeah, come on.
And speaking of artists and, you building your own platform and trying to encourage other artists to build their own platforms, I see that you use your platform at 97.9 quite often
Yeah.
to give artists a space for people to know them, for their music to be heard. Because I've seen you several late nights. I've seen you on Sunday nights,
Yep.
you doing your thing. You either go live. I saw you going live with one guy. He came on your live, but then I actually saw you with like Hashi, like actually in the studio. So like talk a little bit more about that and like what these artists have to do to get on your show or like just what's going on.
So I have a show on 97.9 The Beat Invasion show. It's actually on my shirt here.
The Beat Invasion. Y'all, this man have
My own designer.
he have a shirt for everything that he does in life. I'm telling you.
And a hat for everything.
Right.
This is my goggle hat.
Yes.
The Beat Invasion show, I play Afro beats, I play hip hop, and I also showcase an underground artist. But also, in that time, in that space, I go on Instagram Live and I do a talent show so that people could, share their talents on a big platform. 97.9 The Beat is a major thing in the DFW.
Right.
And so, I'm just like, well, I got my foot in the door. Let me bring some other people in this way as much as I can. So
Right.
I'm able to play an underground artist once a week on my show. How that works, you just got to have motion.
Gotta have some motion.
I'm talking, it have to be evident. Not only that, you got to reach out. You know what I'm saying? Reach
Right.
me. And, which I get a lot of inquiries. There's levels to it. I got to send it to my program director.
Right.
And he got to okay it. If not, I'll tell you ways that you can better your chances at this. If it's not now, then, hey, do this, do that, then come back again another
Right.
time.
So you offer them a little bit of coaching if they're not there yet. You get, okay, cool. Well, y'all, we're going to take a really quick break with Spaceboi Fresh, and we're going to come back for our very last segment.
Can't wait.
It's 6 a.m. Spitting rain. Yeah. Don't know why. Yeah. I let you treat me this way. I've been holding on to your middle finger. Now I know I gotta pull the trigger. Hey, fuck it, I'm in here. California, nigga. Feel like I'm losing my scrolls. I knew I would too. Only a matter of time until that little bright war with blue. I'm so misconstrued, sipping lean, kicking back, jamming screw. 6 in the morning with 100, even gay guys will screw. I'm lost in my mood, less than a month, be lost in the booth. Falling with tools, the kind that only be pointing at you. Swinging, I'm rude, be on the road, fingers at you.
All right, and we are back with our last and final segment. I'm so sad that it's over already. It's been so good today.
Yeah, it's been.
Man, I never got to sit next to a real angel alien before.
Cool.
But we gonna get right to it because not only is he a videographer, audio engineer, radio personality at 97.9 The Beat. He actually does some amazing work with a nonprofit organization called Let the Beat Build Me, right?
Woo! Yes.
Let the Beat Build Me.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
tell everybody what that nonprofit is about, like what the mission is, what role do you play there?
Thought
Yeah.
you never asked.
Yeah.
Nah, Let the Beat Build is a nonprofit here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and worldwide. We headed there. That gives the troubled children in our neighborhoods an outlet to express themselves through music, through sound, vibrations. I'm a teacher artist for Let the Beat Build, which means I'm an artist, of course, that teach other artists or potential artists. We have like programs that last like 6, 7, 8 weeks. And then we'll go to a different district or different school, different juvenile, move around, and I'm able to touch a lot of kids and give them, hope. Because what I love about myself is that I look relatable for them. Like,
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
It's a connection that is there because I look cool. So I won half the battle. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because the youngsters. They gonna fire you up.
Right.
They gonna score on you. You know what I'm saying? They still score on me, but like if they don't feel like there's some type of, then you know
Right.
it's hard to get through. So how we break it down, we teach them how to create beats, how to produce, and there's 4 instrument groups. We color coordinated them to being purple, being the melodies. Then you got blue for the drum beat. Which is patterns in life. We teach them also not only the color and what it represents, but what it stands for in life, what you can relate to in life. So the melodies is like, your emotion, how you feel, because the melody of a song can either uplift you, bring you down, or complement either or.
Right.
The drum pattern, it shows patterns in life. Like we need to have some type of pattern, which we do, but if you don't, there's why some chaos is there and some downfeel is there because you're not sticking to the script. There has to be some type of organization within your chaos.
Right.
Trust me, I know. I always say that I'm an organized, chaotic person. Like,
Right.
Showing up a few minutes late, 10, 15 minutes, I apologize.
You good.
But literally, like, I have to do what I feel. I have to do what I
Right.
feel, and I want to be on time, but what is time?
Right.
To me, that's some outer space stuff. If you go out of space, you'll see that time is not real.
We ain't going out of space. We ain't going.
Time is not real.
Right.
Someone created it. Someone set up something and showed that, hey, the sun is moving, y'all, and this is
Right.
nighttime, this is daytime.
Right.
And all time, like, it just,
It really don't exist.
no.
Right.
You better just goddamn, you better exist.
Right.
Because you
Right.
put limits on your anything, I promise you, it'll get there longer. You're going to get there because
Right.
it's the purpose, but you got to get, but it may just take a little longer because you're looking at time so hard.
Right.
Anywho, you got the purple, the blue, then you got the yellow, which is the textures. We call it the sauce. It's representing, hearing, attention, paying attention, because some of the textures and songs you can't necessarily hear unless you're paying attention. You don't pay attention to it. Yeah. And last but not least is green, which is sound effects. And it's very similar to the textures, just paying attention to detail. So we break that down and then we simplify it for them to just go in and create some amazing work. Once it's done, they feel like this, you know what I'm saying? They feel powerful because it sounds so good. Like,
Right.
I'm talking,
Right.
what? And so then that at least opens the mind up to, maybe I can do this. Maybe there's something I can do, or if it's not this, I can do something.
Right.
Because everybody's not a musician or artist, but at least if you see yourself complete and go through something, that's checking off that task box of doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We have to get more in the rhythm of doing instead of just coming up with these great ideas. Like, you got to do something.
Right. Right. Right.
That's
Well,
what
I
happens.
love that. I love the whole notion behind using music to try to help these kids heal from whatever traumas that they face. whatever situation that they're going through in life that caused them to be in trouble or locked up, like it just proves that the music, the arts can heal. And speaking of traumas,
real quick?
yeah.
My last program that I did before the one I'm in right now, the kids were amazing. The youth were amazing. There was this young one that stood out so much, not only because he was a trip, like bro was wild, but also his music was so good. I just want to shout him out because not only did he made it through, because we also give them a stipend at the end of it. They make it through, they follow the rules, and also this is under Big Thought as well. Let the Beat Build, Big Thought. We give them, shout out to Creative Solutions, we give them a stipend at the end if they make it, so they get paid like $500 for creating.
Wow. Yeah,
you made it through this thing. Now here your money and you got knowledge. But this one kid named Perk Baby, I took to him, and vice versa. And so I've opened the door to him being on the radio. I brought him onto my show. 16 years old, but you can hear it, you can feel it. This kid went through it and still is in it.
Right.
Brought him on the show, and then I also had him open up for Soulja Boy.
Awesome.
I hosted that show and was able to get him on there, and I'm talking killed it. Natural.
Right.
16 years old, never been in
Right.
front of a crowd of hundreds.
Right.
And everybody in that crowd act like they know him.
Right.
And that's all it is.
That's
Like
amazing.
giving them that. Hey, you can see it. If you see it, you feel it. It's real. You
Right.
got it, bro.
Right.
So, shout out
Right.
to Perk Baby.
Shout out to Perk Baby. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, so my last question is like focusing on that trauma, because as I told you earlier, the Mental Motivator is a show that we use to inspire and empower people around the world, to let them know that they too can have setbacks, they can suffer through their own traumas, but they can still make it out. So I want to ask you just really quickly, what is that struggle or a trauma or that major setback that you had to overcome in your life in order to get to where you are right now?
I think it would be the trauma. Taking things personal may have been. Yeah. I'm gonna put it like that. Yeah, taking stuff personal. I had to get over that because none of it. When you look at like parents and children relationships, I have 5 siblings,
Right.
and we all got the same mama. Me and my big sister got the same mom and dad, and everybody else got different dads. And we love each other like all the way through, right? But we all look at the scenarios different that we went through. I know this because we had to sit down and we talked about it, and everybody viewed my mother differently. Not necessarily just in the negative, but it wasn't the most positive of views either. But for me, mine was nothing but positive, and it was so interesting. I wasn't making it up. It's just like I said, I'm a naturally optimistic person. I've known this, I've seen this because of everybody else's way that they think, talk, and do things. I'm like, damn, I really don't look at that like that. But okay, so interesting. So, not taking things personal is my trauma, because I once did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I once thought, damn, why my mama don't want me? Damn, why why I'm over here? I was raised by my grandparents.
Right.
My dad was in prison for 20 years since I was 4. He did a 20 bid. And in this current time and space, 33 years old, my mom is still not like actively in my life. I always see other people like they talk to their mom so often. It's beautiful. I commend it. But I also don't frown on my scenario, because at the end of it, I know she loved me and I love her.
Right.
Not taking things personal. It's almost selfish, which it's a biased thing to say, but it's almost selfish to blame another person for being the way they are.
Yeah.
Instead, like, why not accept that, okay, you know, it does take some communication because you don't know a person till you know a person. You damn sure don't know your parents. You'll never know them until you get to know them. Otherwise, all you know is the version that you see and have seen. You don't know what they done been through,
Right.
what they can compute, what they can calculate. Probably not all the screws there tighten up, or didn't understand something that their parents was trying to put down. You know, it's so many variables. Even to the point of my granddad talking about voting the way he talked about it. Like, we all have experienced life differently. So to take it personal that someone isn't a way that you expect them to be is very selfish. And I feel like, you know, we gotta give grace to the biggest factor of it all is that if you feel the love from that person, that thing, that job, whatever it is, that food, if you feel the love from it, then it's real, and that's the realest thing that could ever, you know, carry us through the days and time, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
hell.
Well, I'm glad you, at 33 years old now, were able to get through life and get rid of that, what you felt like the trauma of taking everything personal was for you. But it's been an amazing interview today, and I have been honored to have you here. And I hope that you guys have been inspired and empowered by Spaceboi's story to, like, just be who he is, even though everybody says, man, you different. He is different, and that's what makes him so special. So before we go, just let everybody know where they can reach you, where they can find your music, you know, how they can hit you up for the show, everything.
Yo, I want to say, I'm here. I'm representing for those homies that, you know, didn't get to wear no name brand growing up. You know, $20 shoes off the corner of the street. I'm here representing for those dreamers, those ones that feel like they don't fit in because they just stand out so much, man. I'm representing for those people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All the way through and through. I go by Spaceboi Fresh, Gabriel Moore. Y'all can tap in on my website, spaceboifresh.world. Boy is spelled with the I. And yeah, everything will be there on the website. Please tap into the website, Spaceboi Fresh World. Peace and love.
All right. And this has been another episode of the Mental Motivator, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.